Lewis Hamilton is one of, if not the best Formula One drivers of all time. 7x world champion, 103 race wins, 103 pole positions. There simply isn't much more you can add to this career to make it even better, but he still isn't held to the same standard of respect of legends like Michael Schumacher and Ayrton Senna by many fans. Why is that? Let's find out.
Lewis Hamilton is a 7-time champion of the world.
Get in there, Lewis.
Lewis Hamilton started his Formula One career in the 2007 season and started his career with McLaren, an amazing historic team in their own right, winning titles with drivers such as Ayrton Senna, James Hunt, Alain Prost, and many more legends of the sport. Before Lewis Hamilton, drivers rarely ever spoke out about social issues that didn't concern F1, but Lewis arrived and changed this completely. He was never afraid to speak his mind out about situations which he thought were wrong, and he was the brunt of many racist comments considering he was the first black driver in the history of F1. His opinions weren't always accepted by the fans as the correct opinion, and they pinned that on him and used that to discredit his achievements, and whenever he failed they used his opinions against him, saying he should just focus on the driving and keep his mouth shut. But Lewis, being Lewis, kept on speaking out against the wrongs happening in this world, and also led the Black Lives Matter movement in the F1 world along with fellow world champion Sebastian Vettel. Along with all his opinions, he was just always at the top of the podium during the hybrid era, but this couldn't have happened at all if Lewis hadn't left McLaren to join Mercedes in 2013. Lewis left McLaren when they were one of the top teams in F1 and Mercedes weren't even close to being at the top, and this brought all his haters to laugh at him, but little did they know he would end up having the last laugh. The 2013 season was the last season before the hybrid era took over, and Lewis knew that Mercedes were putting all their resources to focus on the new era car and not that much effort into the 2013 car, but in his first season with the Silver Arrows, Hamilton secured a sole race victory, winning the Hungarian Grand Prix, where he converted an unexpected pole position into a winning margin of over 11 seconds ahead of second-place finisher Kimi Räikkönen, alongside a number of podium finishes and pole positions, finishing fourth in the standings at the end of the year. The 2014 season saw him return back to his championship-winning form, and his gamble with Mercedes had paid off massively, with him winning 11 out of the 20 races and winning the World Drivers' Championship for the second time in his career with ease, and this would continue on until 2020, but not without his longtime friend and bitter rival Nico Rosberg winning one WDC. In 2016, Lewis was by far the better driver and won 4 world titles in a row, and seeing the same driver win the title again and again was just plain tiring for the fans of the sport, who wanted a new face to win the Drivers' Championship and continue the progress of the sport. And so, apart from Mercedes fans, all the other fans of the sport just started to despise Lewis Hamilton, but they didn't see the amount of eyes Lewis himself brought to the sport. You see, F1 has always been a closed-off sport with not a lot of new fans entering the sport at once, but Lewis and the boom of social media brought so many interested fans to the sport to see who would be the one to dethrone the 7-time world champion from his throne, and the Netflix docuseries Drive to Survive certainly helped, but not in the way you might think. See, in 2017, Formula One was acquired by Liberty Media in a massive deal which saw huge changes brought to the sport. The sport was pushed out into the media, and a deal with Netflix was struck to make a documentary called Drive to Survive, in which drivers and team bosses would recap the season that had just gone by. The first season being aired in 2019, so the 2018 season was discussed by the drivers and bosses. With this, the sport brought in new fans, actually many new fans, but this came with its own problems. The show has received recognition for the additional insight it offers fans and is credited with attracting new audiences, particularly American, to the sport. The condensing of season-long themes into single-episode narratives has drawn praise for adapting the natural drama of a racing season into a narrative that can encourage a fan to tune into the real thing. However, Drive to Survive has been criticized for including fake or misplaced commentary and team radios, staging certain scenes, placing undue importance on test and practice sessions, and over-dramatizing or misrepresenting certain events and relationships within the Formula One paddock. The continued criticism from both audiences and drivers led to discussions between Netflix and team managers, and between Formula One and drivers. Now these fans who have wrong information about certain drivers/events that have taken place over the course of the season have started spin their own web of truth in which they will do anything to protect their favorite drivers, and the old school fans absolutely hated that the most protected driver on social media was Lewis Hamilton, so naturally the most adamant haters and the most adamant supporters of Hamilton came to war on social media, turning F1 social media into the most toxic place to ever be in after the footballing world, of course. This is why I think Lewis Hamilton is the most overhated driver in the existence of this sport. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed, please drop a like and subscribe. Please share it with your friends as it helps in keeping me pumping out content for you guys. And with that being said, that's been my time, and I'll see you all for the next one. Peace.